Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 453, or if you are just a podcast listener or on the app on the free section, this is episode... What episode is it? It's 350. So great to have you, my friends. As always, I hope you are profoundly well. If not, hopefully. My intention is to create something within you which just creates that spark to realize, actually, I am more than this. Whatever I think I am always more. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to live the life that you want to be a part of, that you want to create. Because at the end of the day, we want to refuse to be a product of our circumstance and instead allow our creation, our product, and become a product of what we want to be in this world. So rather than being a product of life, you allow life to be a product of what you choose to create. That is always my overt and covert goal just for you. And today I want to get you to think about things differently. You see, I'm very, very keen when it comes to business, development, making an impact in the world. And I really believe you can learn something from anything. Like, you can utilize any form of business strategy into yourself, vice versa, or you can adapt other examples in the world that if we apply on the individual level, life will totally never be the same again, because there are some key principles. Now, I want you to consider maybe what you maybe feel about me for a second, okay? Now, I don't know if what you think about me will actually match my intentions of how I want to come across in this world. I mean, it might go completely the other way. You might think that Joseph Clough, he's a bit of an idiot. He doesn't know what it's like to have an issue. He doesn't know how to make changes and all those things. That could be the case, right? And that's okay. I'm at peace with that. You can't win everybody. However, you can reach across to some people. Now, my intention has always been to enlighten the illusionary darkness and to ultimately realize that we are worth the life that we want, that we are worthy and we're good enough. And having gone through my own struggles, I just know, when I think of you personally, you are just full of potentiality, and I just feel it in my heart that you are awesome. You may be covered up with stuff, some from past traumas, experiences, or limiting beliefs for decisions, but deep down, I promise you, I know that you have all the resources you need to make the change that you crave. I know when you want it bad enough, you will make that change. I just know that within you. Like, if you really want it bad enough, you will make the change that you crave. And I just have that total belief in you. In fact, when I think of you, I see the total purity of you, the unlimited you, the potentiality of you. And the realist part of me also knows that we go through stuff. But that stuff that we've gone through can actually enlighten ourselves, enlighten that darkness. We can use that pain, that emotional wounds of the past, to actually make the world a better place. Because if it wasn't for my issues, my chronic anxieties, dread, low self-esteem, I would not be in this position right now. I made a decision, and then because of that, I made a decision to share as far as wide as possible as I can. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job in terms of that, in terms of at least getting it out there in the world with over 8 million downloads. And now we're at 350 episodes. So I like to think that I am living up to that. I might not be able to solve your issue fully and completely just through a free audio, but you kind of know you can utilize each and every one of these to make your life have more ease in it. Or in turn, you can invest more financial to work closer with me. I mean, hopefully that makes sense. And then, because of that is my mission, it'll make sense soon. I then have a set of processes Where it be hypnosis tracks, coaching audios. I have like the 6-week courses, like the Complete Confidence program, the Freedom from Anxiety program, like real deep courses where you study over 6 to 8 weeks to get the result that you want. I have things like Mind Mastery where I personally coach you. I have my Elite program where you either come out to see me in retreats and things like that. But that is just a vehicle. Those are processes, and the higher they are, the more obviously you get to spend time with me. But that's just like a byproduct. But what my mission is, and hopefully that's what I mean when it comes across, is I want to help you. I want to make the world a better place. I want to enlighten that illusionary darkness. Now, there are many other hypnotists around in the world. There are many other coaches. And they might have a different viewpoint. I'm not judging anyone because it's their truth is their truth. This is just my truth, right? And maybe you gravitate toward me not because of just the hypnosis, but maybe my intention behind everything that I do is for you. Maybe that could be true, right? Now let's put that in a different context, because that's about me. How can we receive this and how can we utilize this within ourselves? So if I go ahead and ask you the question, I remember listening to Steve Jobs when he was doing one of his presentations, and this is why I chose this theme, around this theme anyway, and he was saying about Nike, or Nike, sorry, in America. We say Nike for some reason, but it's Nike, right? When you think of that, now the product of what they are just like trainers, sneakers, and things like that, right? Now, obviously, the clothing and things like that, but originally it was just that. It was just the shoes that we'd wear. But it was far more than that, wasn't it? You think of their slogans like, just do it. And they would surround themselves with like the best athletes in the world because they're honoring the athletic community. So you know you're not just buying into the shoe, but you're buying into the brand, the values, that's the key word, the values and the integrity of what you're buying. Because I'm going to guess, but chances are some of the shoes could be very similar, a lot cheaper, and all those kind of things. But you want to gravitate toward the brand that you like. And you can say this for Apple itself. You can say this for many different companies. They all have certain products, the byproducts, the systems that they use, the strategies they use to solve your issues. However, you are really looking into the value of the product, the integrity of the product. If it doesn't fall into your values, then you might not buy that product. You see, what I'm really trying to say here, there are many different types of hypnosis tracks. There's lots of different long-form courses. There are many, hundreds and thousands of retreats around the world. Loads of different apps and all those kind of things. Loads of different books. Loads of different other businesses. But the chances are you choose someone or some service because of the value or the integrity, the identity, the intention behind that service. Now, how does this relate to you? Because it does, right? You see, you may have certain behaviors, but realize that byproduct of your behavior can transform. It transforms the integrity of that behavior when you transform the value of you. I mean, what is, and we're talking about this in a previous episode about your story, what is the story that you want? What is the mission statement? Like in Mind Mastery, I've got them all to kind of create mission statements, what they're going to abide to. And I got that from my father when we used to work in the hypnosis room. We used to work together as therapists, hypnotherapists, and so on. And he'd have his mission statement right on his desk, and I would read it every day, and it would just get me super pumped up of to who I'm going to be working with that day. So what is your mission? What are your values? What is your business strategy for who you are in the world? As a father, as a mother, depending on how you see yourself, a partner, a sibling, a business owner, a visionary, a friend, What are your truest values? You see, more often than not, we go through life acting and reacting based on our environment and our past. And sometimes people will only see that. Sometimes your unconscious mind will only see your past, those emotional wounds, and continue to abide by that as a way of being in this world. So your past creates your future. I mean, we also know there are businesses out there who shift their values, some for the better, some for the worst. But they will change the value or the emphasis that they want to be able to share with you. So what are you sharing to your unconscious mind? Let's go real deep for a second. Your unconscious mind, because at the moment it is running a byproduct of your past, your inner processes in your mind, in other words, the belief systems, the decisions you made, the memories, and all those things. It is running that strategy based on the past, which is creating the habits. However, how can we increase more value? How can we develop a greater intention to the unconscious mind? So we begin to teach it there is another way, but there's a higher value for true safety, not that instant safety of anxiety. I'm safe, get me out of that situation, or fear of phobia, or the lack of belief in yourself, which creates a form of safety so you don't go out there in case you might fail. Very low level safety mechanisms, which don't really keep you safe. But how can you intensify the deep value of you to your unconscious mind by reconnecting with your unconscious mind every day as if it's your best friend, and promoting, advertising, marketing in your mind to your unconscious mind there is a better way of being in this world, by being worthy and capable, by knowing that you're good enough, by inciting and enhancing your unconscious mind to become the best version of you while simultaneously being safe is a far better mission statement. But think about that in terms of who you are as a person in this world. Are you communicating your values, your highest values, to your partner? Or are they just seeing maybe the habits that you may be doing? And how can you engage in those values? How can you bring out more of your highest values of integrity, honesty, love, whatever it is for you? Well, you begin to think about it and express it and show it in those habits and behaviors, rather trying to sell the habit of how you already are. Begin to project the value that you want the world to see. And we've Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world, but be the change you want to see in other people. Begin to show yourself, stand up for what is right, make the decision that something has to change, and you are the one who's going to create and project the most profound you in this world, where you can learn from the past and not be just a product of your past. Because when you learn from it, you grow from it, and you change because of it. What is your mission statement? And it doesn't have to be wordy or lengthy. It could be just 5 or 6 words. But something that you abide by. That if you were to abide by, which if you were to show up in your habits and your behaviors, in how you act and react, how you communicate, the things that you do most, how would that transform how the world sees you? Because if you want to change your world, you must change yourself. You must be that example. You must be the difference. You must break the rules of what society thinks of you. Instead, you create what you want to become in this world, but you have to live up to what your mission statement is. What is the new narrative that you're going to abide by? I mean, for me, as I said, it goes into different forms, but my biggest one is ultimately everything is just pure oneness. In light and the illusionary darkness, there is only love. I am the everlasting moment of oneness. I am love. I mean, that's like my mission statement in a while, because if I begin to project that and see the potentiality of you, I hope in my biggest hopes that you will also see that too. That hopefully you can mirror my enthusiasm for yourself. That you can receive and mirror the hope and faith and belief that I have in your potentiality. And of course, that comes through in our words, our tone, our physiology, in all who we communicate with. So when you abide by your truest values, your brand, your truest values, your integrities of the things you want to come out, it will seep through into your behaviors and people will act differently to you. Your customers will see you differently. They won't just see the strategy or the habit or the behavior or the system, but they'll see you as a person. Because people like people, not the system. They want to be able to feel connected. So have this epiphany right now that you are not your behavior and you are not your past. Your past does not have to be your future. Instead, when you go on the inside, you realize the value of you, or you get someone to make that change for you, someone who you know sees that in you. Whichever comes first, then you be it. You become conscious and create it and show it in your actions, in what you say and what you do, how you look and how you feel. Make that your priority. Because when you do that, when you come from that place, the way that you act, the way that you react, your behaviors, the way you show up in the world, will not be based on the past, but based on your truest, highest, most profound values that you choose to create today. So consider that, notice that, and feel good about that. Because when you do, life will never be the same again. I just want you to see what I see in you. So make that change, my friend. I believe in you. That's it. So what I want you to go ahead and do now is not only make that change, but if you're willing, go ahead and leave a review on the podcast and the App Store if you're enjoying these audios. Like, I'm trying to get back in the flow of these things. Hopefully, as we get the reviews in, we'll go ahead and do more and more than ever before. So have a most wonderful day, my wonderful friend, and I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks and goodbye.